Hello, I'm NorthernSausage, but people just call me Sausage. There's a very high chance that you're looking at me right now and going, he is a peanut copycat, and a lot of you are thinking, I'm going to leave a comment and try and bring this guy down because what he's doing is not right. And honestly, I completely understand it. You are completely within your own right to make a judgment on what you're seeing and be able to make a statement about it. There are people out there that have seen the success that Peanut has had and think that becoming an anthropomorphic food or object, sticking eyes in a mouth on something that shouldn't have eyes in a mouth, putting cosmetics on, copying his mannerisms and how he streams is like a cheat code to making it as a content creator or becoming rich or something like that. And people don't like that, including me. But the thing is, I recognize that Peanut became successful for the same reason that every other streamer has become successful. The personality behind the streams, the provider of a community, the entertainer that is able to entertain and take you away from the difficulties of the world and allow you to forget for that short amount of time. Give you a little bit of dopamine. I started streaming and making gaming content since about 2017, but it goes back before that as well. But when it comes to specifically wanting to put my personality out there, it goes back to about 2017. And throughout those years, up until about 4 months ago, I realized that the main thing that made me not enjoy my content subjectively by me is the fact that I'm not fully showing my personality or who I actually am in the content that I was making. And that can be down to insecurities of being on camera. That can be down to the limitations that I had in my creativity and what it is that I enjoy to see and what I would enjoy to make. So then when I found Peanut, and I started watching Peanut and learning about who Peanut was and what his stream's all about, I was unbelievably inspired. He could be his absolute self with no worries whatsoever about what he looks like, what people might think about him, and the novelty of what they're seeing on screen. It kind of scratches that entertainment itch, but they're able to get through to the personality of Peanut himself. It made it much easier for people to be a part of a community, which is a natural human thing to want to do. And that is something that I've always wanted to do since 2017. The thing is, I don't play a character here. I don't put things on. I don't fake things. I don't deliberately think I'm going to say it in this kind of way. I am completely 100% myself behind the sausage. But what you're seeing on the screen is the sausage that wears different clothes. Where I'm from, when you call somebody a sausage, you're basically calling them a silly idiot. Oh, you silly sausage. Oh, what'd you do that for, you sausage? It's what my dad called me when I was younger, because I would often be quite outgoing and charismatic and silly and trying to make people laugh. And he told me that he was proud of me for being able to be open about who I was and who I am, and he expected me to become some kind of entertainer. I remember him specifically telling me that I reminded him of Jim Carrey for some reason, but I don't really care if that even makes sense, because I came from somebody that I care deeply about and wouldn't expect to ever say that kind of thing. Peanut inspired me to actualize and realize my inner sausage, be my true self without the insecurities of being on a screen. And there's a lot of other people out there that are doing something similar. They've felt that similar kind of inspiration and they're creating their own things, but using the same format and the same system that Peanut has popularized. And I say popularized because he didn't create this. He doesn't own the intellectual property of this whole medium. You can go back to Annoying Orange if you really wanted to. And there are other streamers out there that have done this thing before Peanut did, but Peanut has popularized it and made it something that everybody can see and everybody has accepted, because it was originally quite a niche thing, but now because of the greater public and the greater audience have come to realize that what this isn't cringe. It could be seen as a way of personifying or sausagifying or peanutifying a personality or a sausageality or a peanutality, whatever you want to say. I'm one of the few that's working pretty hard in making this whole thing a active stream environment. I'm not just clicking buttons and making things happen. I'm putting in so much time and effort into making something that is unique. And you might say it's not unique because Peanut does the same thing. But what you're not understanding is that you're seeing this as a method of copying and not seeing it for what it actually is, which is appropriation of an art form through the medium of entertainment or online entertainment. But the be-all end-all is, this is extremely fun for me, and it's fun for people to watch. And I have clearly taken a lot of inspiration by having all of these different cosmetics that I've created myself through hours and hours of work and learning and execution. It's a way for my stream to be a hell of a lot more interactive, and it ticks a lot of boxes for me because I don't feel any kind of insecurities when I have the sausage on and I can look at the sausage in my monitor and I can genuinely just see myself. It's no different to VTubers with anime characters that they believe suits who they are. Nobody's calling them an Iron Mouse copycat because they're the most popular VTuber. Nobody with a normal webcam is being called an XQC copycat because he's one of the biggest streamers in the world with a normal webcam. And the thing is, Peanut is not my only inspiration for streaming. I have other inspirations for streaming in general. But when it comes to what you're seeing with your own eyes, a lot of it is a huge inspiration coming from the Burnt Peanut himself. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be able to actualize the sausage that's inside of me and inside of everybody. There's a sausage in everybody, even in you who absolutely hates me and think that I'm trying to ride on the coattails of Peanut's success. I am a sausage, which means an idiot where I'm from, and now I really am a sausage. And I've never had this much fun and enjoyment out of making things and being a part of a community that I have created and is continually growing week on week. I'm only at the beginning of the journey. I have a lot of plans for what I want to do with this sausage and this whole lore that is being created. And I find it so enjoyable as somebody that is a creative thespian to be able to have this malleable thing that I can turn into whatever I want and do whatever I want with it. I'm applying every single one of my inspirations to everything that I do, but the main key thing is that I'm fully able to be who I am and who I want to be through this medium of a sausage, playing games. I was born a sausage, I grew up a sausage, and now I really am a sausage, if that makes any sense to you at all.